Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our TEPSA Presents Member Spotlight series, where we get to introduce you to leaders from around the state of Texas. My name's Todd Nesloni. I'm your host. I'm the Director of Culture and Strategic Leadership here at the Texas Elementary Principals and Supervisors Association. And this week, we have our special guest, Amy Estrada, on with me. Amy, thank you so much for being here. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, first of all, for inviting me. I'm Amy, and I am in my 22nd year of education. I have three kiddos. My husband and I have been married about 17 years, and he's also in education. He's actually the high school principal where I'm the same district where I
Nice.
am. So we have lots of good times, lots of good conversations. I have been a kindergarten teacher, a third grade teacher. I was an assistant principal in that same district in Friendship ISD. I'm all kind of in the Lubbock area. Then we moved to Brownfield, which is also Region 17, close to Lubbock. And I was the special ed director for a co-op there. And then I quickly became an elementary principal because I do love SPED, but man. And then we wanted to get back to the Lubbock area. So my husband and kids landed in Idalou, and there wasn't a job there for me. So I worked at the Education Service Center there for a couple of years with Student Support Services, which is basically special ed there. And then 4 years ago, there was finally a job for me in Idalou. So I am the special ed director here and the assistant principal. So,
wow, that is quite a journey, let me tell you. Well, Amy, when we have these conversations, we talk about those journey into all those positions as we begin these conversations. And I would love to know from you, because I think everybody's story is a little bit different. So when you were in the classroom, did you get an itch to consider some of those leadership positions, or did somebody encourage you? Like, when did you decide that might be in your path?
well, my parents are educators. My dad was a superintendent, my mom, teacher, counselor. And so I was able to watch them. Like when I was in elementary, my dad was my principal. So I had the chance to kind of watch and knew like what it took to take on those roles. But really what I really found when I was in the classroom and within my grade level was that I just loved helping kids and I loved helping my coworkers. And so I was like, I'm not doing this until like I am married and my kids are grown up and here I am. But anyway, I just really, really enjoyed doing that. And so one of the ladies that I worked with was like, you really just need to go back. And I'm like, no, I'm really not going to go back to school, but thank you though. But she's like, you really need to do it before, you start having kids and just get it done. And so I always turn to my parents for advice because, they've been there, done that. And they're like, yes, just do it. Just do it. And so that just kind of opened up the door. But I really did like having the opportunity to help those people I worked with on my team. And then leadership teams I was on throughout as I was a teacher just kind of help open that door to let me do that.
I love that. And I'm sure in the path that you've taken, all those different opportunities have really helped you grow into the leader you are today, because you've had to work with so many personalities in so many different ways that I can't even imagine the skill set you bring to the table. But speaking of skill sets that are brought to the table, we want our members, as they listen to these episodes, be able to take away some inspiration and ideas from you, but also some practical use things too. So, no matter what we feel about technology, we are using it in the world that we live in, personally and professionally. So if there was a tech tool that you couldn't live without, whether it's in your personal or professional life, what tech tool would that be and why?
Well, I'm pretty a basic techno gal, but I am a Google person. And a lot of that came from COVID. And so I am all over the district. I'm all over the campus. So I need everything to be in one spot. So that's pretty basic, but communication is really big for me. And so if it's not written, if it is written, I need it to be pretty. And so I'm not the pretty kind of make it look all fancy. So I need help. I need lots of help with that, like an accommodation, right? And so I use Canva a lot. And that's just, everybody knows Canva, but it just makes me look good with my communication because it's so pretty and fancy. But really, I just do Google across personal and professional, but I just need, it just keeps me organized. It keeps me together. And then Canva makes me look like I know what I'm doing.
And I couldn't have described that better myself. I live and breathe off of Google because no matter what device I get on, at least all my stuff is always there. But like you said with Canva, I may not know what I'm doing at all when it comes to graphic design, but it makes me look like I do.
Absolutely.
Listening, in case you didn't know, don't pay for Canva as an educator. There are paid elements, but you can get the pro side of Canva for free. Now, I don't work for Canva. I don't get any kickback for Canva, but if you just Google Canva for education, you can sign up with your school email and get like all that pro stuff for free. And I always share that with my teachers, with even my students who are using it. So I love that you're using that as well, Amy. So thank you for sharing that.
You
Well,
bet.
part of being a campus or district leader is making sure you have a finger on the pulse of the culture at your campus, and it is a never-ending job. And so what is something that you've done that you've seen successful, or something you have coming up that you'd like to share about a way to build up culture?
Well, I think once you truly know your staff and the people that you're with, and that's like crossing guards to custodians to cafeteria, it's everybody, right? And once that you know them and they know you, you're going to know when it's an individual need that you need to help build them up or whatever. But overall, as a campus, man, we know that October and February are months in education. Like right now, everybody's like, oh my gosh, when's spring break? And so you have to know that. You have to feel
Yeah.
the heartbeat. You have to test the waters. You have to check in on your people. You have to take care of them. But you have to have fun. And like you can take care, like when life is just it for our people, then you're going to take care of them. And when you know it's time to bring in the Sonic drinks, you know when it's time to bring in the candy and put it in the lounge, or chips and hot sauce. And actually, we like to eat at my campus like a lot, and so food is good for the soul. But really, just taking care of them. And one of the things that we've done is we have scavenger hunts, and it's not like it's a teacher work day and everybody go and do that. It's not like that, which I know would be fabulous, but we have, like, for example, when it's Christmas time, I make these little elves and put Staff's face on them and
Uh-huh.
then hide them around the building. And so they have no clue like where it's going to be or whatever. And so then they bring it to the office and get a prize. And I'm telling you, like, if you want to light a fire, that is the way to light a fire. And so they get so excited and they come and they get different It just depends. Like, we try to support our local businesses. And so we have this new little tea shop that's here in town. And so everybody wants to go, but they're like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. I'm like, not today, it isn't. Here is your coupon to go get your free drink. So we just test the waters and just check on our people. And the scavenger hunts have been really fun. Like in October, I just go to Dollar Tree and buy those, or a dollar store and buy those little plastic spider rings, and you hide them around, and you just send out the email like, tomorrow they
Uh-huh.
are crawling around, so go find them. And so they will like fight for
Yeah.
them, because I
Yeah.
don't ever tell them what the prize is going to be, but it's just good times. We have turkeys, we hide them all over the place, and I'm like, I don't know where they are. I'll never tell. So
I love it. And for those of y'all listening or watching, I can speak to this personally that Amy is sharing, because we did it at our campus too. And Amy is right. They will take each other down to find those little things that are hidden around. I don't know about you, Amy, but I had to add a rule on to our game when we did it, because I had teachers like starting during the day, like using their students to help them find them too.
oh
And I had to be like, no, kids, you guys
yes.
calm down and find them yourself.
Yes, and, like, I will try to put, like, we have a lot of entrances and exits whenever we, like, go to the gym or go to the
Mhm.
cafeteria, because 'cause we're so small, we kinda share the cafeteria, so we have to go to a different building. But I'm, like, putting them under, like, the push door, and it's like the kids are like, "What is this?" I'm like, "No, mm-mm, mm-mm," but they do, the teachers do, like, "Okay, it is out there, and it's probably under the fire extinguisher," it's just in random places. But yes, they do. They are brutal, and they will use their kids.
Well, and what I love about the idea that you're sharing, Amy, is it's such an easy idea. Sometimes, as administrators, we have so much on our plate every day that sometimes some of these ideas can feel overwhelming, or like, how am I ever going to get that done? But not only is this so easy, it was so much fun for me, the campus
Mhm.
leader, to get to hide them, that I
Yeah.
think that sometimes I had a little bit more fun than the teachers did, because I was always being like, where can I make like this one impossible to find?
Yes, and the best place I found is the freezer in the workroom, like, because,
Ooh.
we only use the freezer whenever it's like Valentine's party, we had ice cream that we put in there or whatever. I'm like, "They don't look in there, they don't use it," and so, yeah, that was a good a good time right there.
I love it. Well, those of you listening, if y'all try to do these, please share online the photos of what you're doing and use the hashtag WeLead Texas. I would love to see how some of these are working on your campus. And hey, we've got Easter coming up right away, so that's a great time. And
Yes.
I'd love to ask you, now that you share that idea, have you ever done a Easter egg hunt with your staff?
You know what? Yeah, we have. I haven't at this campus that I'm in now, but
Uh-huh.
one of my previous districts we did. Yes. And actually our middle school does it, but and they put like it's legit over there too because they put money, like
Ooh.
money. Mhm. Yes.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. This is so much fun. Well, okay, Amy, when we're ending these conversations, and you've already given people so many goodies to take away today, but I'd love to know, if there is a first year administrator listening, and every week I say this, we're all pretty much first year administrators because every year is all over again. But what advice would you give, or what is something you've learned along the way?
I've learned that you have to have balance and you can't forget your joy that you have, whether that's your personal joy that brings you so much joy and makes you happy and like takes you out of the crazy stress of everything, and then your professional joy, because there is so many days that are going to be the high of high and the low of low, and then you have a lot of in between. And if you don't know how to balance all of that, because our job is tough, but man, it's so rewarding. But you have to be able to find your joy so you can take care of yourself. Because if you're not okay, your people aren't okay. So
That couldn't have been better. And I'm glad you said it that way. If you're not okay, your people can't be okay.
mhm.
So beautiful advice, Amy. I have loved getting to talk with you. So if people want to connect with you on social media, are you on social media anywhere?
I am. I'm on Facebook. Here goes my old school. Like I'm on all the old people pages, but yes, I have Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff too. But yes, I can share that out or whatever.
Awesome.
I don't even know what it is, honestly.
I love it.
It's just on my phone and it's just connected because it's all in one spot.
Yep. I love it. Well, thank y'all so much for listening to another episode of TEPSA Presents. Remember, we hope to see you at our 2023 TEPSA Summer Conference, June 7th through 9th at the Kalahari Resort in Round Rock, Texas. Guys, you are not going to want to miss it. Sean Covey's going to be there, Jimmy Casas, Carmen Agradini, and we have the most incredible master classes that you can sign up for now as well, led by people like Dan St. Romain, Ruby Payne, Michael McFarland. It is going to be phenomenal. So we hope to see our members there, and we'll see you next week for an all-new episode of TEPSA Presents.